Let's see how smart you guys are. Okay. Hold on, let me. We talked about trying to figure a way to get us going early. Okay. And we talked about thinking outside the box. Huh? Let's go out there with 10 guys for the first 2 plays and show them that we're better than you are with 10. Huh? How about that idea? It worked. We got off the field on 3rd down. Huh? Hey, we're innovative around here. Number 1 in the world in innovation. So, go ahead.
I was going to ask you about that.
We had some substitution communication on the sideline, and I like my first statement better.
So you were just talk about what you were trying to do.
We were matching up the 4 linebackers in the base. I wanted to start with base just to make sure that we could run our regular defenses. And Ashari was standing behind me. I yelled base, base, base. He couldn't hear me and didn't run out there. Give Evan Fields credit. He saw that we did not have Ashari out there to play the deep half. So basically, we just lost our middle runner, our middle runner right there, and he took over and played the deep half, so we wouldn't give up anything deep. It was like playing 4 under 2 deep without the extra rusher. We had a little bit of substitution issues the first 2 drives, trying to get the right combination in and out, but it didn't hurt us. So we got it settled down, and in the rest of the game, it was really good.
Is there any way to overstate how important it was to have a fast start for a change?
Unbelievable. I mean, it changed the whole. I mean, it changed the offense, the defense. The confidence factor. I thought those guys did a really good job in coverage. Now, I mean, the fourth quarter is gosh dang. I mean, you give up a 43-second touchdown, a 59-second touchdown. That can't happen. And the worst one is after the second touchdown during the timeout. I told them it's a screen and go, and we call it good coverage for it and get dirty eyes and bite on the freaking screen. It was unbelievable. I mean, I was about to lose my mind. But we overcame it thanks to Jaden on that last touchdown pass to ASU. But for 3.5 quarters, I thought we played really, really good on defense, and we got to finish it a little bit better.
Were you pleased with the pass rush against that Oregon offensive line?
Yeah, now they are a good football team, especially up front. Yeah. Yes, so I was very. Now they were bleeding us a little bit in the third quarter. They did a nice job at halftime. After the first series, we came over and we were able to slow that down a little bit. I think they rushed for like 150 yards, but they're good. They have 2 All-Americans up there for a reason now. But yeah, I thought we did a nice job getting pressure on the quarterback. That roughing the passer penalty kind of started their movement down the field on that drive. That was a little bit frustrating, but I can't talk about it because I didn't see it. I was watching the secondary, so I don't know. It just seems like they're close. They're calling them on us. So, and next question.
Soleil had a couple nice plays for you. It seems like he's a guy that's kind of coming on.
Jermaine Lole he leads the Pac-12 as D lineman in tackles. He's, I think, now 3rd in the country D lineman in tackles after tonight. He's a special player.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry. Kyle Soleil was unbelievable tonight. Yeah. Kyle Soleil with our 4 groups, we have 4 linebackers in there. He did everything, and I talked about it early in the season. He doesn't do it the way you want him to. Tonight he was doing it the way we want him to. And he came off the field at one point and said, "Coach, don't put base back anymore. Let me play. Just let me play." I said, "That's fine. You know what? We're going to put you in during base too." Now, we've got some guys that they kind of can do one thing. They can't transition to doing both, and there was a little bit of different in both groups. So we got dinged up with Merlin and Darian and Kalen at one point and Tyler. I mean, we were really having to manufacture how to substitute those guys. AP did a really good job in the second half of making sure we had the right combination in there that understood what we were trying to do. And we were able to perform till the last 7 minutes.
When did you really start to think about going to this different type of a look against these personnel groupings where you're playing the 4 linebackers and you're taking other guys off the field?
When we're having trouble with coverage, okay, when I said it from you're going to put your best 11 players on the field to be successful. It doesn't matter who they are. I mean, against Washington State, our deal was we put 2 D linemen on there. Now, we rushed the passer with 5 or 6 guys 90% of the time in that game. And so it wasn't a 2-man rush. It was get after it. Against these guys in last week with the bigger personnel, and Oregon's really big up front to get that extra body with a little bit more meat up there with guys that can play off box and get off. And, I mean, we get a D lineman that gets double-teamed. Well, the second-level linebacker can retract that double team by stepping up in the hole and making that guy come off the block so that way they can't blow us off the ball. A Ranger's not going to do that as successfully. So you have to look at your best 22 players and see what gives you the best opportunity to be successful. I mean, we're running 3-3-5. I'll put 60 linemen out there if it's going to win the game. It doesn't matter to me that you have to play with your best 11 players. And the last 2 weeks, matching up their personnel has been good. Now, that's not always easy, and it comes as you get more long evolved in your scheme because you've got guys, like I said, there's certain guys that can only do one thing. They can play the 4 group. There's certain guys that can play base and 4. There's certain guys that can only play base. So you don't want to cripple them by doing too much. But if you have an advantage and you're able to do those things, they struggle with it. On the other side of the field, they struggle with it. They weren't prepared for that, especially against the 11 personnel because it's not what we've done. And so we surprised them a little bit. That's why they went to 12 personnel in the second half. And they, like I said, they bled us a little bit early. But we were able to make some adjustments on the sideline and did a nice job slowing that down. We did a really good job with interceptions. We played a ton of man coverage. And then we threw zone at him, and it really messed him up, and he threw 2 balls to us. And so I thought the change up there in the third quarter was really good. I mean, the fourth quarter, end of the third and beginning of the fourth quarter was really good. The thing is, they executed it. I mean, they executed tonight. And give the players all the credit in the world, man. Players make plays. There wasn't a single coach that made a tackle or a single coach that made an interception. The players, they won the game, and they executed what we did in practice.
You had aspirations for a lot of sacks, a lot of interceptions at the beginning of the season. It didn't really materialize. Mm-hmm. But then tonight it looked like probably what you thought it was going to be. And then it was against Herbert, who was expected to be.
Yep.
So how does that feel?
It's the players that we anticipated playing like. We dropped 2. We didn't just barely get our finger. We dropped 2. And one would have ended the game before the second touchdown, and then Jack earlier would have been a pick 6. Those are the plays that I expected those guys to make back in August when I opened my stupid mouth. And I put that number on them, and I know better. Coach Long told me a long time ago, don't ever give a record and don't ever throw out numbers because they're going to hold you to it and you can't live up to it sometimes. That's my fault. I'll learn from that. So lesson learned. But that's the guys. Those are the players that we expected to make. And the last couple of weeks, they've made them. We've been getting the ball a lot for our offense. We forced the most fumbles in the country. That means you're playing really physical against the run. You're playing really physical football. We've recovered the 8th most. We're tied for 3rd, really, with 8 schools for recovering the most fumbles. And now with those, how many turnovers did we get tonight? 2 or 3? 2, so that'll put us at 19. So we'll be top 10 in the country in gain turnovers. So, that part of it's good. The interceptions, I expected more, but we're playing physical. And tonight, we overcame some mistakes in the first half because they were playing their tails off. They were playing fast, violent, and physical, and I'm proud of them.
Phillips made some nice tackles for you in the run game early when they had the run game going with Verdell.
He did. CJ Verdell runs his tail off. It does. Cam, what really helped is, if you noticed, Jack and Chase played significantly better tonight. Kobe was on the outside. And when we can share those reps with those 3, we're pretty good on the outside. It's a confidence factor. Those guys feel comfortable with Kobe out there. We had a rotation for those 3. They're all 3 really, really good players. They work together as a group, and having Cam inside and able to play. Now, Cam made a couple of mistakes tonight, and we talk about it all the time. You can't cheat the game of football. He hadn't practiced for 2 weeks, and he practiced this last week, but he missed the previous 2 weeks, and it hurts. And so the thing that I am most excited about is if we can get a later bowl game around the 27th-ish, one of those bowl games, they have no idea what they have in store. We can beat the tar out of them for a couple weeks and still give them an opportunity to play good in the bowl game. But the development of our kids, that is a huge win and probably the most important thing out of that. And then now let's go get the next one against the,
Anti-200?
That's anti-200.
What does it say about just the perseverance of the players when you're losing 4 games in a row, but you're still battling, playing from behind, then you win a game like this kind of?
Here's, I think the structure of our program says a lot. Be on time. Well, we had those guys that screwed up last week, and they got punished for it. That's the number 1 standard. Words and actions. Don't say it if you ain't going to do it, and don't do it if you're not proud to say it. And then compete. We had the 6th-ranked team in the country. That environment out there, Sun Devil Nation was unbelievable tonight. That crowd was so loud, our guys couldn't even hear us. If you don't have the pulse to compete in that situation, then we're recruiting the wrong guys and we got the wrong football players. There was never a moment during the week that our guys didn't think they were going to win, when you come off losing 4 in a row to teams that you're better than, a lot of that's coaching. We got to be more prepared, and they got to execute. But there was no doubt at all during the whole week. The mantra kind of was, especially in the locker room before the game, they had no idea what they were getting into. Our guys were ready to play, and they didn't for 3.5 quarters. They really didn't. And if we can get that competition structure going and all that, do that all the time, then we'll keep building on it. But there was never a moment that they were afraid, or there was never a moment that they had doubt. And for a team that's lost 4 in a row to come with that energy to practice, I mean, if you guys were at practice on Tuesday and Wednesday, the energy at the beginning of practice was awesome, and it stayed that way the whole week throughout practice. So give them credit for being competitors and living up to that standard of our program. And then we didn't have anybody miss anything this week, and so maybe they were more dialed in and focused. So good for them.
When you see that come to fruition, and then you can go and hug your players and coaches after the game, how gratifying is that for you?
Winning football games is very, very hard. I think it's one of the hardest things to do in sports because you practice more than you play the games. I mean, you put so much into it. So for the 12 guaranteed opportunities, and now we get a 13th, it's really gratifying. I mean, I'll say that. I hate losing more than I enjoy winning, but I really, really am proud of the guys, and I'm super, super excited and happy for them. And now I'm going to go start working on the anti-200 tonight because I can't stand that group. But I'm super excited for our kids.
Rob told us just a couple minutes ago that he gave his players homework assignments to watch last year's game. You did anything similar?
Yeah, I mean we've like last year was the opposite against them. We played terrible for 3 quarters and then had a good 4th quarter and won the game. So we got to come out and play like we did tonight early and finish it. And let's get on a roll, get 2 in a row, and then get to the bowl game, get 3 in a row, get to 8. We still have an opportunity to get to 8 wins. For recruiting purposes, tonight's environment was unbelievable, and we have some really good players here on official visits that really enjoyed the locker room after the game and the field and the atmosphere. I mean, I'm going to say it again, Tempe is a college town. I mean, we have the Cardinals. I love the Cardinals. That's great for Phoenix. Tempe is a college town that the Sun Devils own, and Sun Devil Nation was in full force tonight. It was awesome. I'm super grateful for them, and it's when they stop talking, they stop caring, and they showed up tonight. It was unbelievable. It was awesome.
I saw you hug Jaden after the game. They don't go head to head, but people are going to say that Jaden outplayed Justin Herbert in a duel. Senior, freshman, maybe the #1 pick overall. What do you make about Jaden's performance?
Jaden was throwing dimes tonight, and it just goes to show you. I mean, he doesn't care. The kid's composed. Now he missed some throws. And we have fun. I have a really good relationship with Jaden, and when he misses throws, he hears about it. So I was just telling him how proud I was of him in this. I mean, man, the big time ABC crew was here. They had the big camera. You'd be amazed how many people get excited for that floating camera. They had the pylon cameras. I mean, it was a big deal, and that's what you aspire for. And if we can continue to win more games around here, it won't be a big deal. And they handled it, and I'm super proud of Jaden. I mean, I'm really proud of the kids in our locker room. Those guys, I mean, I love those guys, and they're putting everything out there to try and win football games, and it prevailed tonight.
Between the 4th quarter last year's game and then the first 3.5 tonight, what's the biggest thing that you saw on tape from Herbert that you thought you could expose?
I thought if we could take his first 2 looks away, that we could get pressure there. And our kids, we emphasized it all week long, and they did a really good job. He's a really good quarterback now. But we were able to do some different things, and our guys executed it. We showed them some different looks. I think the 4 linebacker deal and 11 personnel bothered them a little bit because we were running some coverages that we hadn't run. The only one they did a great job scheming cover 2 early on. And so you can either beat your head against a wall and say we're going to be better than them, or you can make a change, and we did, and they executed.